I'll issue a warning at the outset. This is going to get into that area known as touchy-feely. I'll start more clinically by talking about the skin, or what is called, perhaps to make it seem more impressive, the integumentary system. Integument means a covering or enveloping layer, which, in vertebrates, is the soft outer layer we call the skin. It's the largest organ we have, about 20 square feet in an adult human. It is thinnest around the eyes, where the effects of aging are the most pronounced. It's thickest on the palms and the soles of the feet and on our backs. The epidermis is the outer layer of our outer layer. It is a waterproof barrier containing no blood vessels. The dermis is next. It's complex, made up of connective tissue, hair follicles, sweat glands, and nerve endings. Under that is the hypodermis, technically not a part of the skin, mostly fat and connective tissue, what is called subcutaneous tissue, attaching the skin to bone and muscle. Also in the epidermis there are melanocytes, which produce melanin, giving the skin a characteristic color which varies among humans, causing considerable consternation, since obvious differences divide us, make us suspicious, and make it easier for us to mistreat and even kill one another. I can only hope that melanin has some other value, possibly acting as a protection against the light rays from the sun. Skin is especially interesting to me because it has to act as a barrier to protect each individual, keeping out pathogens, helping to regulate body temperature. And it is also one of our primary means of interacting with our surroundings, meaning it has to take things in, source of the sense of touch, as well as heat and cold. So the skin is both a shield and a communicant. The very thing that protects us from our environment is also tasked with picking up vital information from it. It's a complicated dance, a little two-step that seems to be essentially contradictory. The skin provides us with our sense of touch, and I think touch is a very profound thing. I think that touching, literally making physical contact, is vital to humans. It's important to have the physical intimacy of touching, and not just for procreation. Savvy politicians make good use of this. We say they are backslappers, or that they press the flesh. Bill Clinton was something of an intuitive genius at this. We like to be touched or massaged. It feels good, it makes us feel good. Today, however, most of our contact is electronic. It's not the same. Someone called it human contact without the contact. And I think we need that contact. We punish people by putting them in solitary confinement. We say we'll stay in touch, or I'll keep in touch, meaning that in some way, metaphorically at least, we will maintain contact. And we frame that contact as touch, even if it's a Twitter or a tweet. If someone does something for us, we might respond by saying, "I'm touched," meaning that we have a deep feeling because of what they've done. I heard someone say after a long layoff from work, and just getting back to it, that they wanted to see if they still had their touch, or had they lost their touch. A knack for doing something, almost ineffable. Instinctive expertise, created by experience and constant repetition. Learning lays down a neural pathway so that a person can perform complex tasks without having to stop and think about everything. In sports, we say a quarterback can throw a touch pass, or that he has a nice touch on the ball. Touch, of course, leads to feeling, as the brain leads to the mind. And what we feel leads to our emotions. And what we feel leads to our emotions. William James, attempting to delineate feelings from emotions, said that we do not run from a bear because we're afraid. We're afraid because we're running. I somewhat understand what he's getting at, but it's also splitting hairs for me. I see a bear, I'm afraid. It's enough for me to pack up all our feelings, love, hate, anger, joy, and link them to our skin. Skin deep? You bet. Also consider sensation. Sensation is the ability to be aware of something just over the threshold of nothing at all. Sensation means that something has made an impression on us, touched us. We have picked it up on our membrane radar. It is a bare minimum of experience. But sensation is also a tremendous experience. At the peak of external involvement, something that's sensational can be overwhelming. Touch, feeling, sensation, that's our experience of living in the world, all because we have skin in the game.